Did you see when JD Vance was spanking the fucking Europeans?
He's like, dude, he was just dick snapping them all.
Mushroom stab,
bro. He basically called them all communists.
He's out. Yeah, JD Vance spanks him, and then this dude comes out like the beta he fucking is, an emotional wreck. I mean, God, how much of a beta do you have to be this much of a pussy, dude? Can you imagine being a leader of a country and being this much of a bitch?
No, because I'm not a bitch. I'm not a beta.
Woo! We're gonna do a chuggy. Let's do a chuggy.
We'll do a chuggy chug.
We're gonna go live in a little bit.
Little chuggy chuggy.
Little chuggy. So emotional Hesgin. I hope I said his name's wrong because he's a piece of shit. Holds final press conference at the Munich Security Conference chairman. Look at this.
Von Kleist, this conference started as a transatlantic conference. After the speech of Vice President Vance on Friday, we have to fear that our common value base is not that common anymore.
It's not.
I'm very grateful to all those European politicians that spoke out and reaffirmed the values and principles that they are defending.
First off, the values and principles that you are defending is locking people up for for sending social media posts that you deem as hate speech or targeting or what's the other one, harassing and all that kind of bullshit. So if that's your side of the aisle, you stay on your side of the aisle. We do not share the same values. What do you got to say, Chris?
Fuck you.
There you go. That was simple.
No one did this better than President Zelensky.
Ugh.
What?
Let me conclude, and this becomes difficult.
Oh my God, you're such
God,
a beta.
Pussy.
Oh, look at these fucking fruits. Look at it.
Get the fuck out of here. This is why you're all fucking betas. All of you pussies right there.
Oh my God,
all of you shift lovers.
Look at this shit.
I did my best for long. I did my best. Yeah, don't trip over your fucking dress,
bro.
pussy.
You had to. Okay, now I'm gonna be honest. If I saw my leader do that, I would be like, "We're fucked as a country, dude. We are fucked as a country." I don't know. Like, what are your thoughts on that? What would you say if you saw that?
Shameful. Shame. I mean, shame. But like, honestly, bro, like you're like, if the president of the United States went on stage and bitch complained, and then cried at the end, I'm like, yeah, we are fucked. I mean, start buying bullets. That's it. We're fucked.
I mean, that's just so pathetic, though. But I do want to say, bro, you have no balls. There's no way you could be a leader or a fucking man, and you can't even get through a speech because somebody told you, hey, by the way, you're censoring people. That's bad. I don't agree with that. And I think you're a horrible country for doing such a thing. I mean, that we're going back to fascist socialist bullshit in Europe? I mean, is that what it is?
I think that's where they're going.
And then on top of that, you can't even get through a speech because it hurt you so much. It hurt you that much.
Me course.
Yeah. It's like, you stupid son of a bitch. You're that much of a pussy that you should not be leading a country. I'm sorry.
Well,
and this is
the Europeans.
And this goes to here, and this is where JD Vance kind of basically makes him his bitch. And dude, JD Vance is just so good at what he does. This is why he started crying was a reaction to JD Vance's shellacking that he gave him. He just put him over his feet. Shellacking. Hey, you shut the fuck up, you little bitches. Listen. All right, let's go ahead and watch it.
And normally we mean threats to our external security. I see many great military leaders gathered here today. But while the Trump administration is very concerned with European security and believes that we can come to a reasonable settlement between Russia and Ukraine, and we also believe that it's important in the coming years for Europe to step up in a big way to provide for its own defense, the threat that I worry the most about vis-a-vis Europe is not Russia, it's not China, it's not any other external actor. And what I worry about is the threat from within, the retreat of Europe from some of its most fundamental values shared with the United States of America.
Yes, and what he's talking about is censoring people and arresting people for fucking talking about anything Muslim
or posting shit.
all the shit that is going on with the rape culture and the rape groomings that's going on in fucking England. Terrible, bro. And on top of that, I mean, you're arresting people for silent praying now.
Yeah,
stupid. Like, what the fuck is that, dude? We don't share the same values.
No.
Now, I was struck that a former European commissioner went on television recently and sounded delighted that the Romanian government had just annulled an entire election. He warned that if things don't go to plan, the very same thing could happen in Germany, too. Now, these cavalier statements are shocking to American ears. For years, we've been told that everything we fund and support is in the name of our shared democratic values. Everything from our Ukraine policy to digital censorship is billed as a defense of democracy. But when we see European courts canceling elections and senior officials threatening to cancel others, we ought to ask whether we're holding ourselves to an appropriately high standard. And I say ourselves because I fundamentally believe that we are on the same team. We must do more than talk about democratic values. We must live them. Now, within living memory of many of you...
Look at these motherfuckers. They're like, God damn it.
They're all shameful. Damn.
First of all,
motherfucker,
you gotta appreciate just the brilliance of JD Vance, bro. I mean, he went from a kid that came from a drug addict mother, piece of shit family, went to one of the best schools, and now is vice president of the U.S. Bro.
Marines. And then he went
American dream.
He went to Harvard, right? Was it Harvard or Princeton?
It was one of those. Harvard, maybe.
I know after the Marines, he went to a prestige.
You in this room, the Cold War positioned defenders of democracy against much more tyrannical forces on this continent. And consider the side in that fight that censored dissidents, that closed churches, that canceled elections. Were they the good guys?
No.
Certainly not. And thank God they lost the Cold War. They lost because they neither valued nor respected all of the extraordinary blessings of liberty. The freedom to surprise, to make mistakes, to invent, to build. As it turns out, you can't mandate innovation or creativity, just as you can't force people what to think, what to feel, or what to believe. And we believe those things are certainly connected.
Yep. I mean, things have gotten so Orwellian in Europe. I mean,
it's unrecognizable.
Yes.
And unfortunately, when I look at Europe today, it's sometimes not so clear what happened to some of the Cold War's winners. I look to Brussels, where EU commissars warn citizens that they intend to shut down social media during times of civil unrest the moment they spot what they've judged to be, quote, hateful content.
Dude, ain't that wild, though?
Yes.
Like that. I mean, no, but just to hear that it's like, if we have a little bit of civil unrest and I don't agree with what you put, I'm not gonna let you talk anymore. I'm gonna
silence you.
I'm gonna limit or silence your ability to speak in the town circle to find a solution of what's going on, because obviously there's a big issue going on, right? And I'm just gonna silence you because I feel what you said is hateful. Can you imagine we had that fucking attitude going into World War II? We would have got our ass kicked. We would be speaking German and Japanese right now. Or I mean, I speak Japanese for other reasons. Hey, you got that Japanese pussy, you know? You got it's like
speak a little bit of that, right?
You get that Japanese. Oh shit! I fucking came too early. Look at I got all small.
There you go. See, you grew a little too.
Or to this very country, where police have carried out raids against citizens suspected of posting anti-feminist comments online as part of, quote, combating misogyny on the internet, a day of action.
Crazy.
I look to Sweden, where 2 weeks ago the government convicted a Christian activist for participating in Koran burnings that resulted in his friend's murder.
He was staring at him.
Wow.
And as the judge in his case chillingly noted, Sweden's laws to supposedly protect free expression do not, in fact, grant, and I'm quoting, a free pass to do or say anything without risking offending the group that holds that belief.
Oh, dude, look at these motherfuckers. Look at them. Look at this dude's face right here. He's like this.
I'm disgusted. Oh my god, dude, this motherfucker has not looked down once at note.
Look at this guy's more like, holy shit.
He's like Whiplash.
And this guy's just like, hey, he dies, he dies.
So he's all like, he has a point. This guy,
I like this guy.
Your comrade, he has a point.
I just raped like 5 bitches right now.
Just eat a bunch of beef and just drink some vodka.
He's just hey, I like that guy you got. What's his name? Liver King. He's a good guy.
Good man.
And look at this guy.
He's still reading he's still reading subtitles right there.
Look at this guy. He's on Grindr. and look at this bitch. It's like, I'll suck his.
Look at the girl on the right. She's already orgasming because
yeah, she's
full orgasm. Right?
Yeah, she's an ugly bitch. You ugly. But hey, man, he's doing it. This guy's. I think he's kind of wanting to suck some dick.
I think he's turned on.
Yeah, he looks like he's turned on a little bit. That's a good pause. I might go for it.
And perhaps most concerningly, I look to our very dear friends, the United Kingdom.
Yeah,
where the backslide away from conscience rights has placed the basic liberties of religious Britons in particular in the crosshairs. A little over 2 years ago, the British government charged Adam Smith Connor, a 51-year-old physiotherapist and an Army veteran, with the heinous crime of standing 50 meters from an abortion clinic and silently praying for 3 minutes. Not obstruct.
How fucked up is that? You stand like if you're a Christian, you believe abortion is murder. Now, I'm not gonna get into the whole debate because that's up to you, whatever you believe. I mean, I think you're probably like whatever, man. But the thing is, if you silently pray outside of a fucking place that you think is killing kids, you get arrested. That's your fucking policy, bro. You're a piece of shit.
So
you're a piece of shit.
He was jailed for praying for forgiveness.
Silently praying too.
Silently praying for forgiveness for
the babies getting murdered. And for the families that probably murdered.
For life that was taken away.
Yes. How terrible is that?
Anyone, not interacting with anyone, just silently praying on his own. And after British law enforcement spotted him and demanded to know what he was praying for, Adam replied simply, it was on behalf of the unborn son he and his former girlfriend had aborted years before. Now, the officers were not moved. Adam was found guilty of breaking the government's new buffer zones law, which criminalizes silent prayer and other actions that could influence a person's decision within 200 meters of an abortion facility. He was sentenced to pay thousands of pounds in legal costs to the prosecution. Now, I wish I could say that this was a fluke, a one-off crazy example of a badly written law being enacted against a single person. But no, this last October, just a few months ago, the Scottish government began distributing letters to citizens whose houses lay within so-called safe access zones, warning them that even private prayer within their own homes may amount to breaking the law.
Bro, that one's wild. Private prayer inside your home can be breaking the law.
Yeah, but how would they know?
But still, I mean, who knows? It may be, I don't know, but that's just thinking about it. It's insane to me. It's insane. How that is.
Yeah, but how would they know?
I don't know. I don't know that law, but what he said, I don't think JD Vance is going to say that for no reason. There has to be something that's there, and then we're going to have to look it up a little bit.
Because that's, I mean, if that's a crime, then praying to yourself inside your head, even if they think you're thinking a thought.
Minority Report. Hey, we're getting there.
I do it. Let's get out of here.
But like, okay, do you apply the same thing to Muslim people when they have to pray every couple of fucking hours? Now, that's the thing. Is a law applied equally to everyone? And if it's not, then we have a 2-tier system and that needs to go. That's all I gotta say.
Naturally, the government urged readers to report any fellow citizens suspected guilty of thought crime in Britain and across Europe.
That's Minority Report.
Play it back.
Yes. Hold on, we're gonna go back.
Naturally, the government urged readers to report any fellow citizens suspected guilty of thought crime. In Britain and across Europe, free speech, I fear, is in retreat.
Okay, JD, you don't have to fear. We know it's gone. We're the only ones because it's in our constitution.
He's got to.
Yeah, I know, but it's gone. It's gone.
And in the interests of comedy, my friends, but also in the interest of truth, I will admit that sometimes the loudest voices for censorship have come not from within Europe, but from within my own country.
Yeah.
Where the prior administration threatened and bullied social media companies to censor so-called misinformation. Misinformation like, for example, the idea that coronavirus had likely leaked from a laboratory in China. Our own government encouraged private companies to silence people who dared to utter what turned out to be an obvious truth.
Yes.
So I come here today not just with an observation, but with an offer. And just as the Biden administration seemed desperate to silence people for speaking their minds, so the Trump administration will do precisely the opposite, and I hope that we can work together on that. In Washington, there is a new sheriff in town.
Woo!
And under Donald Trump's leadership, we may disagree with your views, but we will fight to defend your right to offer it in the public square, agree or disagree.
Okay.
Kiss my ass.
I do want to say one thing.
Just one thing.
Just one thing. Can you imagine the balls you have to just be like a young, like this dude probably, how old is he? Like 40 something?
Dude, this guy's 42 years old.
He's yeah, okay, but that's how old almost I am. The balls to go to all the world, look at this shit, all the world leaders in Europe and say, I'm gonna fucking teabag every one of you motherfuckers on live TV.
Okay.
And I just want to say, the balls you have to go on live TV in front of their fucking face. You're not being an asshole saying it behind their back. You're like, hey, everybody, look up here. I'm gonna tell you what you're doing wrong because you're a bunch of pussies. Dude, the amount of balls that takes is phenomenal. It's brave as talk about brave. That's brave. That's awesome. He's telling them to their fuck face, y'all are doing wrong, and we're not going to be a part of it. And if we continue to do wrong, then we're going to have to fucking find new alliances. And I fucking love it.
That's not balls, and that's not brave.
That
is the second most powerfulest man in the world.
But it's still, dude,
that has nothing to do with that. You
don't think so?
That right there is an alpha stepping on a world stage, telling these motherfuckers.
No, I agree with that.
I don't have to be brave. It's because y'all can't do shit about it. I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna fucking helicopter my cock out here, and I'm gonna tell you one thing. You all did wrong, and I'm here to tell you one thing: get on board or get the fuck off.
No,
that's basically what he said, bro. This guy, that has nothing to do with bravery. This motherfucker is the second most powerful band in the world.
I totally agree with you there. I stand corrected.
He did not have to look over any of his shoulders.
But the thing is, it's not that. It's just compared to like what we've seen so far with all the shit that's happened.
The only man
to do something like that and say, I'm gonna be this guy and I'm gonna go up to you in front of your fucking face and tell you you are all a bunch of pieces of shit for fucking stepping on liberties and like shitting. Okay, hold up.
Oh, damn.
And perverting the word democracy. They're perverting the word democracy. They are. They're perverting it. They're perverting it to the point where saying, oh, because we need everybody to feel comfortable. They're perverting the word democracy, but just to do it in front of their face in a live TV is fucking ballsy. I'll give them that.
I'll give you this one on ballsy. Donald Trump say, you go to this fucking conference and you show the balls of America. What can stand in front of all the world leaders right there and just fucking tell them, teabag.
Well, even the founding fathers were
I'll
young.
give you that one. Yeah, that was, yes, you are right too on that part. That was
a lot of founding fathers were fucking in their 20s, bro. A good portion of them. I mean, you're talking about like even Thomas Jefferson writing that great Declaration of Independence and all that, but it's and that's ballsy too. I'm not saying he's like the only one that's been that ballsy.
He's not. But in our modern time,
yeah, and just to see a young fucking badass like that,
actually,
that comes from shit. He comes from nothing. People should look at him and say, this motherfucker came from a drug addict mother that tried to run him over. He did something to try to run him over. A grandmother that was all fucked up. I mean, you got to watch that. What was it? Hillbilly or
something like that.
Come from just shit background to become vice president, to going in 40 something years old If I was his mother, I would be so fucking proud. If there's ever a display of the American dream, this is it.
Absolutely.
This is the fucking American dream. There's somebody that comes from shit. And I know people will say no because he's white. Dude, no, it don't matter what color he is. He comes from the fucking gutter. He went from rags to riches. He went from the gutter to the fucking presidency. And I'm sorry, if you don't agree, then you're just lying to yourself, or you're being deceitful, and in a way that you just want to trick your audience that you're talking to, that he's not the American dream. He is. I'm gonna show y'all what real leadership looks like. And he did. He showed them this is real leadership. And it's like, it's true what you said. I don't have to look behind my back. I got President fucking Trump. I don't have to look behind my back. I got President Trump that will annihilate you if you have anything to say about me. And I wouldn't doubt President Trump told him, hey, bro, I need you to go there and just spank him.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Trump just said like a few words. Don't disappoint me. Because if you disappoint me, you disappoint the country. But it's like going back to your point. It's like how you said, like, you know, there was leaders back then who had to deal with, you know, back in the founding fathers. They didn't have to deal with this many fucking world leaders.
No, there wasn't that many world leaders.
That's what I'm saying.
But you had to deal with the UK.
But back then, it was a different time. There was a lot of killing.
The British were fucking the most powerful navy and army in the fucking planet.
Oh, yeah.
So it was still intimidating, yeah.
Intimidating, but not like this. But at the same point, yeah, there's a bunch of betas and
yeah, I mean, the fucking dude cried afterwards.
I'm pretty sure everyone had to like pull their pants up because of the flood that they had to walk through. They're all fucking crying.
Just lived.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, like, God bless fucking JD Vance, bro. Like, this guy just came out and just hammered. He just really showed the long dick of the law and just said, hey, we're America, we're back. This is what you get. If you're not on board, get the fuck off. He
literally said that too. He goes, like, the past administration, where there's a new sheriff in town. He basically said that in a nicer way, like, hey, by the way, that fucking weekend at Bernie's fucking president we had the last 4 years,
that time's over.
He's gone. And now we got a big dick orange Cheeto.
Big old fucking
it's a big old Cheeto.
It's a picture. He's all unwrapping it.
He's all, hold on, let me show you this. Let me show you my boss's cock.
Hey, can y'all touch it?
It starts off all little.
Oh, it's like a little napkin. It's a big old fucking.
You just see like it just be a big old fucking Cheeto guy. Hey, that's Trumpy.
My boss wanted me to show you.
Hey, my boss sent you a DP, and he wants you to see it.
Check your emails.
He
sent it on a PDF.
It's a PDF, but it's in 2 segments because it's so big.
It's just so massive. You're gonna get it in 2 series.
So that's the shaft, and that's the base.
You're gonna get what's in between on season 3.
I know, right? You get the middle part.
It's
later.
Just this as it goes on.
He's some people say I have a humongous penis. I don't say that, but
some people say I have a big weenus.
I don't say that.
I say it's huge.
He's I say it's average, but people say it's big. I don't know what to tell you. he always does that shit. I love it. But dude, yes, it's great, and I love to see it. I think it's great for our country to show some futs. And yeah, man, I really got nothing bad to say about JD Vance at this point.
He has impressed.
I think he's impressed me way beyond Mike Pence would ever have done. I think Mike Pence was a lame duck. I mean, he was good at the time, and I did like him.
Bill platitude.
Yeah, but he just wasn't the guy for this moment. At this moment, you need a guy that's gonna
have the president's back.
Yeah, have the president's back, but also just articulately express what the president's agenda is. Because Trump cannot articulately express his agenda. That's just one problem. He's an entertainer. He can fucking get people riled up like, yeah. And he's good at that. I fucking respect him for that because he is an entertainer, man. He's had so many years in the media and all that. But JD Vance can articulate what he says